What up? This is the Bishop Game, and I've got quarantine hair. Okay, so Helix 3.0 is out, and I have seen a lot of love for the new Horizon drive, rightfully so, which is a model of the Horizon device's precision drive. But what I haven't seen much of is people talking about that model's gate section, or the Horizon gate model, which is just the gate part of the Horizon drive broken out into its own model. Now, people should be talking about this, because this model might be the solution to a problem you've had for ages, or even the key to your dream tone. What's so special about it? Well, it's unlike any other gate in Helix, and actually it technically isn't even a gate. If you're interested in how it works, I'll explain more at the end. But basically, it gets rid of high frequency noise while leaving your main tone untouched. This is going to be mainly useful for high gain and modern metal tones, but it's applicable to any tone where you're just noticing your gate's not clamping down on noise as much as you'd like. Let's take a look. Okay, so I have here a basic high gain rhythm preset that I made prior to 3.0, so the Horizon drive and gate were not available yet. You'll have to forgive my dead strings here. So if you want to know what's in it, it's nothing crazy. It's just a low cut, Minotaur, the Rev Purple amp with an IR, a touch of room reverb, and then a little bit of the input gate. I added the Horizon gate to it, but obviously I was not using it there. So let's take a listen to what happens if I just do some muted low B power chord chugs here. In particular, listen to the decay. So you can hear as the note decays, there's this noise that kind of blooms up. And if you are on monitors or headphones, then you can probably even hear my tremolo springs ringing out. So I could probably make that work in a mix, but it's not ideal. And the input gate is not going to grab that because there's still a note decaying and it's just, on or off. It's not going to clamp down and get rid of the entire signal unless I push up the threshold much higher, and then I'm going to start losing tone. It's not going to be very musical. But let's check out what happens once I turn the Horizon gate on. Noise is gone. Chugs remain. So I'll go back and forth really quick. That's a pretty big difference, in my opinion. You can hear that unlike a normal gate, the Horizon gate is actually allowing the parts of the signal that we want to hear to keep going while it's getting rid of the noise. It's also getting rid of a little bit of that mid-range saturated bloomy thing that some people might want that. I don't have a particular use for it, but if you do want it, you can actually just use a looser setting on the gate, and then it will allow that to pass through more as well. Now let's play on hard mode. This is the same preset, but this guitar has a shielding issue, and unless I'm actively, holding one of these knobs with a finger, it can get kind of noisy. So let's check out what that sounds like. Gross. That would definitely be a problem, but let's check out how the Horizon gate handles it. I mean, that's basically witchcraft. That's actually usable now. This can handle a shielding issue, and that's crazy. Okay, so what's actually going on here? Well, most gates work by just opening and closing, and they will let through the signal that's above the threshold and either reduce or altogether eliminate the signal that's below it. That's not what the Horizon gate does. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, the Horizon gate isn't actually a gate at all. What it is a dynamic high shelf EQ filter. Now, what does that mean? That means that when it opens and closes, all it does is reduce the mid and high frequencies while letting the low frequencies pass through unabated. That's why things like chugs continue to go through while the noise is reduced. So here's a visual example of that I have dialed in the FabFilter Pro Q3 plugin. So check out what happens when I pick. So you can see these frequencies bounce up to unity, and then as the note decays, go back down. That's it. That's the whole ball game. These mid and high frequencies get attenuated, but the lows don't. This is actually reacting quite a bit slower than the Horizon gate does because this plugin doesn't have attack and release settings for me to dial that in, but this is basically what's going on. All right, that's all I got. Hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching.